What up, internet? I am back. If you didn't notice I was gone, then I did my job correctly, minus the uploading at randomly late hours. But yeah, either that or you just ignore my channel and you're being nice and you're subscribed, which is nice. Thank you. But please, for the love of God, start watching my videos. I have reasons now that I need to do this. Sorry, just grabbing my chair. Ew, bra. Ew. Because I am sick right now from my travels. Not from my travels, but because of the air in the place that I traveled to, I'm assuming. And it doesn't help that I already have bronchitis, and the place that pollution tends to infect is your bronchioles, more or less. It affects your entire lungs, but generally it tends to show up. That table needs to move back where it needs to go after I'm finished this. But yes, I have been away to, wait for it, the Philippines. If you saw my one video of, hey guys, this is where I've been, then you know that's where I've been. So, on top of being sick, I have decided, especially before the Philippines, but now especially after, I am going to be doubling my upload schedule. Don't mind me, I'm just going to be drinking some ginger ale, which seems to work better than cough drops at making me not cough. Anyway, so as of right now, I've been thinking about doubling my recording schedule. I have an ear infection, so this whole one ear thing might switch to the other ear, which, if you're wondering why I usually keep it on this ear, because even though this ear is a little muted, normally, this ear is my bad ear for hearing. But they say that I think it's your right ear is your music ear, which is what I need when I'm paying attention to everything. And then, yeah. So anyway, I left them over there. I should probably move them closer so that way when I'm gaming I can just take them. God, I missed you. I am on antibiotics for my ear infection. Now, when I was little, I used to get ear infections all the time. Don't worry, I'll get to the trip stuff later. But when I was little, I used to get ear infections all the time. Like all the time. And, another thing is that I'm allergic to mosquitoes. I've got, like, dry lips. Like, the moment we stepped back into Canada, it was just like... Yeah. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm going to be whispering for most of the games, or being a little bit more subtle with my voice, that'll be why. But for now, because I am uber excited, I can't whisper, so I'm just going to have to turn down the gain. Anyway, so I'm on antibiotics. I got to take one every 8 hours, so I've got a timer and I'm up at all hours. Coughing anyway, so somehow Mother Nature is being kind to me, and right before I have to get up to take these, I'll start coughing. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's like either an hour or a half hour before, which is usually about how long it takes me to get into gear. Sometimes I'll have like an alarm that'll just shut off on its own, which is a nice thing about the alarms. But this thing is significantly bigger than my ADHD pill I have to take. That's also a capsule. So, I don't have to take it anytime soon. I just took it. That's why I'm up. It is only 9:32 a.m. here. I'm still slightly on Filipino time. Slightly. But I'm starting to get back into it. Although I am up very early, but the first week we were there, I was up very early anyway. Excuse me, I'm going to be burping and coughing and not farting. Thank the Lord that I don't have traveler's diarrhea as well. That's that. Anyway, what I'm planning on doing with this thing is, so yeah, this came from not cleaning my ears, because I have an allergy to mosquitoes, and one of my biggest fears with that, I mean, like, I'm not petrified enough that I'd stay inside like I do with bees, right? So one of my biggest fears with mosquitoes is that if I get bit on the wrong spot on my neck, that it's gonna swell, because what happens is it swells really big, but then when it goes away, it leaves like a bruise, which I don't know if that's normal for everyone, but that's just how I react. Excuse me, I need to take more pop. Hey, it's ginger ale. It's not like it's Coke or something like that. I'm not gonna get fat. Hopefully. Anyway, so I know for a fact that earwax is in your ears, number 1, to clean, and number 2, to keep bugs and stuff out from your inner eardrum. So what I figured is that would keep them away from at least up in this area of my neck, because that's where your earwax goes, and that all I would have to do was just wash my neck if something came running down out my ears, or if it started to get really bad around my ears, I'd just wash, or behind my ears or whatever, and then once in a while do inside. Yeah, no, too much pressure on that ear. Great, now I have to readjust my glasses. My glasses are not used to this. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, so that was going good for about the first week and a half. I have really got to get this Yeti resituated in the right spot. Okay, there we go. Anyway, if you're curious, yes, I have gained all the way back down. So I am just really loud right now. But like I was saying, what ended up happening was I neglected them a little too much. Like, I was planning on maybe halfway through cleaning out my ears, but they were feeling fine. So I thought, okay, maybe I can go the entire trip, which was about approximately 21 days. Don't go that long without cleaning your ears. And now, see, the thing is that they tell you not to put the Q-tips in your ears. But when I was younger and I used to get ear infections all the time, they used to give me antibiotics, either the drops, the pills, the whatever. And what ended up happening was that it kept coming back. So they flushed it, which is essentially taking all the earwax out and cleaning it. I'm just going to turn down this microphone so I don't blast your guys' ears off. Hello? Yeah, okay, we're just going to go back down to like 63. We'll just leave it at 63. Anyway, so like I was saying, so that was a major thing when I was little. So what I ended up doing was, and by the way, this vlog is going to be extra long because I want to show off some of the stuff I got, and I'm not waiting until Friday to do the whole thing. But I am going to also explain what I'm going to be doing with the footage and the journal stuff I got, but I'll get into that in a few minutes. What I ended up doing is I flushed my ears, which kind of helped this ear, because this ear was hurting as well, and that solved that problem. But this ear started swelling closed almost because it got infected, but it wasn't hurting, and we went swimming the next day, and I have video footage of this, but I'm pretty sure I was close to drowning. I don't think my Uncle Wally would have let me drown, I'm pretty sure, because considering by that point I was struggling with even pulling myself along. You guys will see the video when I get to that part, and I will do a play-by-play of like how much, like, out of a scale of 1 to 10, for 10 being like I was definitely gonna die, to like 1 being like I'm okay, I was probably about at a 3 or 4. So I wasn't in that much danger. So don't hate on Uncle Wally. Uncle Wally's awesome. Okay, if you hate on Uncle Wally, you hate on me, and I'ma hate you. Well, no, I'm not gonna hate you. Hate is an extreme word, but he would have come had I not been able to do it myself. AKA had my grip let go. Thank you, Jesus, for guitar hands and piano hands. Hallelujah. Anyway, what ended up happening is that I went under, and I did swallow a little bit of the water, but I'd done my research already, and I was looking into like how to be okay with water in case we did go swimming by the end of the trip. Which is what my ultimate goal was, to convince Dad to let us go somewhere where I could go swimming. Sorry, I need more pop. Anyway, but what ended up happening is I think that was part of the thing, because this one had stopped hurting, so I had assumed that even though it was like closing, that it was maybe just the water didn't all come out, and that it was going to come out over time. So by the time we got back to Canada, my ear was at, like, you know that in the doctors, especially in Canada, especially in our area, they have, like, this scale where it's, like, 1 to 10. And usually, like, I've got a high threshold for pain. I don't take pain pills specifically because they can mess with my heart rate with my ADHD pills and cause other such problems. And because pain pills sometimes can cause your stomach to have problems. So I am very natural, like when it comes to pain. I am like mind over matter. My favorite mind over matter. There are many different mind over matter methods. There's ignoring the pain, and then there's embracing the pain to the point where your body ignores it. And that's usually the one I go with. So when I was little, I used to poke my scabs so I could put my pants back over them because I used to get a lot of scabs on my leg because it used to fall, and I'm an idiot. But yeah, I need to find a better lighting system. Oh, I need to find something to put in front of this thing, like maybe a filter. I'll work on that, guys. Don't worry. I know I look white as all, like, white. Or maybe what I need to do is I need to back my light off a little bit. See, that's why I missed my other light. My other light had adjustments. So maybe if I just sit up. Okay, sorry. Again, I had everything packed away for 3 weeks, so it's readjusting everything. Anyway, like I was saying, so by the time we'd come back to Canada, I went from like a 6, which is what I was at the day after we went swimming, to like an 8. So I can generally go to like 6, 7, maybe 8, depending on the type of pain. And yes, there are different types of pain. There's stinging, there's buzzing, there's different kinds of things. So I was at a 9 for like a fire alarm kind of pain, which is like the day before we went. And I wasn't supposed to go with my dad to the doctor because he has lungs problems like I do, but I knew that mine was mostly because the last week I didn't wear my mask, and I'll get into that in a minute anyway. But for me personally, that was one of my biggest mistakes, I feel, and not cleaning my ears. But for me personally, to be at a 9 and be ready to cry, I was like, you know what? No, I am going with you. I don't care if you think we should observe for a few days. I've had this since we were in the Philippines. And my mom, she works in a nursing home, and I don't know what degree she had in the Philippines, but generally she is who we go through to decide whether we need to go to like the hospital to get checked right away, or whether we need to book an appointment and wait like however long it takes for us to get in. So usually my mom will suggest, especially with my dad, because I guess she's just concerned about him, and she knows that I bounce back really quick from things, and I'm pretty good at self-medicating. Although I do recommend you don't always self-medicate. If you think, even for a second, that you need a doctor, you need to go check yourself out, okay? When I was little, I used to get sick so often that I know the warning signs, that I'm like, okay, well, this is just obviously going to be a chest cold. I need to up the vitamin C, up my vitamin intake. I need to relax. I need to take breaks. I need to keep myself less active. And then, yeah, basically. So, and that gives my body time to go into overdrive into, okay, so we aren't wasting energy on her running around like a whirlybird. So now we need to waste our energy on getting her better. And I find it's weird, but I've noticed that when I'm sick, my body heats up. Like, I don't know if that's normal for everyone, but it's not like a fever heat up. Like, you can take my temperature and I'm fine, but my skin feels like warm in like my chest and everything, which is usually where I get sick, in my chest. And if I'm sick in my chest, usually what I'll do is I'll take my blue puffer, which is more of like a, it's more of like an inhaler. Like, you know how people on TV, how they in like that, but mine's like the twisty one. There are different types of puffers. I could get into it in another video, but I'm not going to. So that's basically like a rescue inhaler, more or less, but not like emergency situations, because my lungs aren't that bad. I have a friend who's like that when she stops breathing, you need to call 911. Which reminds me, she needs to come home so we can get together, so I can tell her all about my trip. Because there are things I'm going to leave out in this video and in like the following videos. But yeah, anyway, I'm pretty good at self-medicating. So, mom is suffering from jet lag like the rest of us. So I decided on my own that if mom weren't suffering from jet lag, what would she tell me to do if she knew how much pain it was in? Because I'm pretty good at hiding my pain, because I deal with it on a regular basis. My main method of mind over matter is focus on the pain. The only thing I will take pain pills for, and that'll be after my ADHD pills have pretty much left my system, but because of like, I take them on a daily basis, there's always a little bit in my system, so there's always that risk that I'm making problems for myself in the future. But What I will do is, if I have a migraine and the mind over matter isn't working, I will take a pill. If I have a 9 out of 10, or even like an 8.5 out of 10 for pain, I will take a pain pill. So when I had my wisdom teeth out, it was the first day, and that one's more of like a constant buzz pain. And those ones are easier to deal with mind over matter. So basically what you do is you focus on the pain. You poke it, you think about it, you think of nothing but the pain for at least an hour or a half hour or even 15 minutes if you're as good as I am at it. And then you start doing something while you're thinking about the pain. And then you stop thinking about the pain, and then you notice the pain goes away. Sometimes you'll need to do that every day. Sometimes you'll need to do that a few times a day, and I've already done that with my ear today. So today I know that I won't need my pain pills. But the thing is that with that, it's so scary for me right now, because I know that ears are important to what I do right now, because I'm including music. And while I was in the Philippines, I had like an epiphany with music, and music has always been like a steady epiphany for me, if you know what I mean. It was like always my drive, my passion, my blood. It was like this. If I didn't have music, I'd be like coughing, and I needed this, like kind of thing. Not that I'd actually be coughing, but I'm using it as a metaphor. But music has like taken on a whole new meaning for me. Like, I'm Catholic and I'm pretty religious, I think, at least. Even religion has taken on a whole new thing for me because of how devoted these people are. And how happy they are with how little they have. You can chalk that back to religion a lot of the times. Like, a lot of young people think, oh, religion isn't cool. Mom and dad make me go to church or whatever, right? But a lot of my cousins are so excited to go see these big churches that we went to see, that I asked one of my cousins to make sure that we went to see a couple churches, because my dad is so religious. As far as like, I'm religious too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm not religious and that my dad makes me go to church. No, I am religious. But in a way, I feel like everybody needs to find religion in their own way. Not that I'd ever not be Catholic, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's great that everybody who goes to church, but do you live it outside the church? And that's what priests are always preaching about. But at the same time, it's like, well, I feel like I have been. It's like, this was a whole new awakening for me, because these people had so little, but they shared so much of that so little they had, that it's like a slap in the face. It's like, hello, are you alive? It's like, no, I wasn't, but now I am. So that was amazing. And then seeing all these people, and growing up, with my mom, it was always, oh, my family. If we got into an argument, it'd be like, well, I love you more than my family, otherwise I wouldn't be here, kind of thing. Or that was always our go-to thing right before we both broke down and then made up, which is how it goes every time we get into an argument, Mom and I. It's always so, crying and stuff. And then, like, now knowing her family, they've become my family too. And anyone who messes with them, I'm very protective of the people I love. Anybody who messes with them, I feel like if I could, I would mess them up. Not my family in the Philippines, but you know what I mean. But like anybody who messes with my family in the Philippines. Not that that would be physically possible with them being like that many miles away. And that's what makes this whole thing hard, being back. Trying not to cry. Anyway, so I've got some souvenirs that I've amassed for myself, which are basically just gifts that were given to me. So when we went to the Philippines, we flew with Philippine Airlines, and I don't even know the stewardess's name, but that's good, because otherwise she would be in trouble. But one of the stewardesses said that we could have this, and I didn't use my blanket. Dad didn't use his blanket. So I ended up not using my blanket, so this one was mine. And on the way too. So what ended up happening was that she said, yeah, just stick it in your bag, just don't tell anybody. So this is me not telling anybody. Woo! I'm kidding. Like, the flight was amazing. That's the first airplane both Dad and I need a... Hold up. Oh, if you ever go to the Philippines, bring your own toilet paper out with you in public. Bathrooms don't always have them. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, we're good. What was I saying? Anyway, but yeah, so we got that. The flight was amazing. They have video games. We flew, well, they have different names for it now, but when you watch TV, it's always first class, middle class, and then I don't know what the last one is. But we basically flew business class, which was like middle class, I think. Because we passed through first class, and first class basically got their own PSP. And we had these little like cord thingies that were just like I just spit on the stupid pewter. But you know what I mean. Anyway, it was cool. It was so cool. And then I found out you could talk to the passengers on the way home from the Philippines like 5 minutes before we landed. It's called Seat Chat. If you're gonna go to the Philippines, I recommend you fly with the Philippine Airlines because they are awesome. They feed you. Like, you guys are gonna see some of the amazing food, and I'm gonna do voiceovers. But anyway, let's get into some of the other stuff. So I got a coworker some postcards, and I left them in his drawer, which we share because I do his aisle when he's not there. But I got a map of the Philippines, which I will be taking a picture of so I can show you guys exactly where we were. Do you see that in that red area, Manila? I'm pretty sure that's where we were. And I'm just gonna get Shill when she comes back, maybe either when she's recovered by like Friday or Saturday or something. I'll get her to explain how the cities work. But we were in Metro Manila in Marikina. So basically their cities names, the city name is Manila, but it's basically like the province of Ontario, which is divided into counties, which is Marikina. And then the subdivisions even have names, and then you have, the address is really long, okay? I would not send a postcard to the Philippines. I'd rather send one to Canada where it's just like 3 lines instead of 5 lines of postage. Anyway, and this is the closest to where we were. I couldn't find Marikina. But this is how their cities are. So you can see why my lungs are shiznit. And these things here these ones are better masks than the ones that I was carrying. But basically, you have to wear these in polluted traffic. A lot of the natives are usually fine. Like the people who are, not the natives, but like the people who are native to the country, so the Filipinos. A lot of them grow up with that pollution. And if your lungs grow up with it, you build up an immunity to it. But I didn't. And I also already have lung problems. So a lot of them will drive in that with their windows open because air conditioning costs a lot of money, no matter where you are in the world. And then a lot of people as well will smoke, a lot of the men. I haven't seen any women, but I know that my grandmother, for a fact, she used to smoke right from grade school up till before she moved in with us. Because of my asthma, I feel like she quit. This thing is stuffed full of stuff. This is from the wedding we went to. It's fake. And if I ever have anything that is like green related, this is going to be going into my hair. If I ever have to do anything fancy with something green. And this was given to me by my auntie Tess. And I'm going to go through like a family tree thing with this little good luck cat bell. which I have attached to the zipper, but I can also move it to my phone, but I feel like that would be annoying, especially at work. Here, I'm just going to dump this whole thing out carefully so I don't lose anything on this table. Is that really it? That's all I got. I have pictures of everything I collected for other people, so you guys will get to see those later. Not sure which church this is from, but I got this from my Uncle Babat, which is Uncle Edward. They have, like, nicknames for everyone there. It's kind of cute. I wish they gave me a nickname. Alfred, Russell, Mary Rose, whoever's watching, pick something for me! Please. I miss you. Anyway, and then we went to stay with my Uncle Romy and Auntie Lisa, for a bit, and we didn't go to the ocean, so I didn't collect these myself, but I've got another piece that I'm going to give to a friend, but I've got pieces of coral. I don't know how well you can see that with the white. I've got pictures of that so you can see them a little clearer. I should be wearing this, but I took it off. I wore it, like, basically when I got it, I wore it the entire trip. But my niece was pulling on it, and this thing is precious to me, so I'm going to put it on now. Unless I need to keyboard game, this thing is going to be on. Which goes to show you, since I'm wearing a rosary bracelet, yes, I am Catholic. And then, I lucked out. One of my first cousins, because I think your cousin's kids are your second cousins, and I'm going to explain that stuff too in another video, hashtag Uncle Cousin, had a guitar, so we ended up making our own pick for me, and she let me borrow it, because I'm going to also explain maybe I'll do that on Friday's video. I'll go into more detail about the people and stuff, so then I have more time to work on the first, like, video. But basically, what they did is they bought me some picks while I was there, because one of my other cousins, she plays guitar in Canada here, because she's from Vancouver, and she and her sister both sing. So when they were out and about, they got me those, but I am never going to be able to look at Coca-Cola the same way. I have a bottle in the fridge, a tiny bottle. Oh, and sorry, Auntie Rosie. Yeah, they started peeling off, and then they started chipping off at work. My toes are still good, though. I'll explain that on Friday, too. But yeah, they made a bottle lid into a pick. That would be Uncle Cousin John. And yes, I am going to get into everything. I'm going to tell you why he's Uncle Cousin John and why Uncle Cousin Wally is Uncle Cousin Wally. Which makes Auntie Cousin Rosie. Auntie Cousin Rosie. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not going to get too deep into that. My brain is still a little befuddled by whatever the heck. Is that it? Is that really it? That's it? Hold on, I'm just going to check my backpack. Along with that, I have video footage out the wazoo, pictures from everybody. By the way, family, I'm stealing all your photos, as I've already previously stated. But just to remind you, I'm taking all your photos, and I will, like, say, oh, I won't be able to say specifically at this point, because I've downloaded so many who gave me which photo. But I will say this, I will be able to tell, based on who's in the photos, most of the time, who gives me these photos. So after Friday, you'll know who basically everyone is. I've also got this journal, which only has one private entry, which I will be reading as I show you guys the video footage and pictures, which are all stored on here right now, which I still have to finish going through. So that's why Friday, I'm going to have to set that up for myself now. But Friday, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing like a family tree. Now, I don't have pictures of everyone, because some people died, and then there was a fire, and then a lot of pictures got destroyed when my mom was little. So a lot of the elder people, I won't have good pictures of. But I do know who everyone is now. And before, it was so hard to tell who was who. especially on Skype. So now I have a reason to talk to these people. Before it was my mom's family, and even though it was different faces in front of the camera, it was all one entity, my mom's family. Now it's John and Rosie, Auntie Rosie, Uncle Wally, Marissa, everybody, Taya, Elijah, Auntie Sonia, everyone. So now that I know how everybody is related, I can do this a little better. But yeah, so basically that's the trip. That's where I've been, and that's why everything is so befuddled and messed up, and why everything was going up late. Because even when the things went up early, it was probably more towards the beginning of the trip, right? Right? Because I was getting up early because I was still in Canada time. Well, right now, I'm almost completely adjusted to Canada time again. But what I'm going to try to do is consistently get up at like 5 or 6 from now on. So if I have to do more work on my videos, I can, so I can put more effort into it. So as of right now, I need to go double check everything, make sure I have pictures of everyone, and get Friday's video in order so I know who everyone is and you guys can know who everyone is. And stuff. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for sticking around through the last 3 weeks when it was so sporadically late at night, if at all. And I did have things lined up for my Wednesday videos. I had To the Moon lined up. So what I might do is, if I can't speak, I'm going to save those 3 videos I have already recorded. And then after I'm done recording everything I need for the next week or so, I will be doing that stuff if my voice dies on me. But as of right now, because I have lost my voice before for an extended period of time, and I had to learn how to sing again. No singing. Very little talking, unless I need to. And I'm going to have that in place for at least 2 weeks of recording. So by the time that the second week of recording stuff comes out, I will have been okay. Hopefully. But for the next little bit, you're just going to get mostly let's watch Chrissy play instead of let's listen to Chrissy comment while she plays. And as soon as I'm done this, I am turning up the sensitivity and switching over to whisper. So I don't lose my voice on you guys. But anyway, yeah, exciting new things are coming. I'm going to be doing some instrumentals for my music stuff. Where did that piece of paper that I had go? Did I leave that upstairs? I think so. Okay, I'm gonna have to make another one in a minute. Where's my journal? I have a little thingy in the back for the chart for what I was uploading, and when I go again, hopefully, or whenever I'm going somewhere in October, so I will be bringing my camera, my computer, my camera, everything with me. Which will be quite the cluttered mess, but it's only going to be, I think, 1 or 2 weeks. So, I'm not going to the Philippines in October. Don't get excited. I'm not going back. Well, I am going back someday, but just not yet. So basically what I've said already, but just to confirm it, because as I said, this is going to be a longer vlog. Usually my vlogs are 15 to 30 minutes. This one might be closer to 40 minutes, 45. And I'm only at 34 minutes. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing double schedules. So Monday will be music and then a game. And then Tuesday will be game, Wednesday vlog, game, Thursday game, music, Friday game, vlog. Now the Friday vlog will be either Feel Good Friday or Flashback Friday. So while I'm working on this Filipino trip stuff, that'll be Flashback Friday. And after that, I'm going to be doing a couple of things. I'm going to be interviewing my dad when my voice is well enough to hold out for an entire interview. I'm going to be getting him to speak to the camera, but I'm also going to be getting him to speak into this microphone, if I can, for that entire thing. And then I'm going to be getting I hope my friend comes home soon, because what I might get her to do is interview me. Now, when I do these interviews, I'm not going to be on camera and my friend's not going to be on camera. It's just going to be the person we're interviewing that's going to be on camera. So please, when I do interview my dad, show some respect. He is my dad. He went on this trip at an elderly age. Like, and his health is, he's not like in chronic, like, I'm gonna die in 3 years, bad health, but his health is not that of a young man's who is like physically able to take this trip and come back like woo 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 woo, which is the same way they would have left. No. So show some respect to my dad when I do this interview. Because the same thing would apply to anyone. You should, and that's the way it is over there, you should respect your elders. I don't know why our culture has lost that. You can learn so much from making friends with old people than you can from making friends with the young kid who knows 50 bajillion facts. Hi. That's why I know so much, because I look up things. Like, I'm a person who likes the new stuff, but I appreciate the old stuff, and that's why I know so many random facts and stuff, and why I feel like I am the way I am. Because I've had that modern influence of technology, but I've also had that old school influence of this is what happened kind of thing. So please respect him. Thank you. But anyway, like I said, that's what's going to be happening. We're going to be having the interviews. We're going to be having like anything I may have left out that I might want to share. And then if I can convince some of my cousins to get even the smallest thing going, maybe we'll video chat. And then I'll record the screen if I can. Maybe I'll get some of them to explain a little bit about themselves or something like that if they want to. So any of my cousins, if you have me on Facebook and you're excited to do something like that, be like, hi internet, I'm alive, I'm a real person kind of thing. Please message me, cousins, because that would be interesting. Especially the ones that I'm going to be probably mentioning the most. It would be nice for people to be able to know who you are and what you're doing. And personally, I don't know everything, but I would like to know, like, how my mom and I and dad have helped you. If you're watching, which all my cousins are pretty much going to be watching, or at least some of my cousins are going to be watching my videos now. So, yeah, it'd be nice. And then it'd be an opportunity for us to just sit and talk. And then after we're done with our video segment, I could, like, mom and dad could come down and actually have a decent connection for once. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this long vlog. Thank you for putting up with the last few weeks, and thank you to my family in the Philippines for that amazing experience. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.